Hey guys, how are you? We're gonna get started in just a second here. I'm gonna post this on. Over here. We're gonna get started in just a second here. I'm gonna post this on. That's the delay. 2 seconds, guys. Let me just get this posted on the team page, and we'll get rolling. I should have done this at 6 when everybody was getting here.
What do you think? Can I do this?
I think we're doing okay. Yeah.
Can I actually order something?
She's ready to order, so if you'll send her back over, that'd be great.
Okay, do I have to email it? No. How did you do that with me?
You just forward the link.
Oh, he's hungry. Oh, are you hungry, little one?
Okay. Here, I'll take.
Okay, so I need to forward that to. Okay, precious. Okay, so. Oh, okay.
Okay, where are we going?
Okay, so we're going to. Mark Bromley. Oh, yes. Are you going to feed him now? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I stink.
Oopsie. There it goes. Run away.
All right, that's right. That's okay. Okay, I'll take care. All right, well, how do you start, Stacey?
Okay.
Just your story and your why.
Okay. Okay, what are we doing?
You guys, it's already on.
Going.
Let's go.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're going to get started. So hopefully you'll get your food sometime here. But we're kind of in a loud environment, so if you guys can't hear me, just let me know. But got it. Okay, so my name is Stacey Allgood. I joined the business in December of 2015. Seems like so long ago, but really it's just been so fun that it's just gone by so quick. And I originally started, well, I saw Liz posting on Facebook before and afters, and I was at a position where I was like, okay, I need something for my skin, and I was waking up going, who is this person I'm looking at in the mirror, and those products look like they've worked. And then I started thinking, my husband started talking like he's going to retire when he's like in 5 years, and I'm like, okay, that's not right. Like, I'm not working until I'm 65. I got to figure out a plan to retire before that, because I work at a hotel, and the retirement plan is not great. And so I started, I just called Liz up. Well, basically I just said, hey, what are you doing? I want in, and I didn't know anything about the company. And when we say we fake it till we make it, it's honestly the truth with how I started the business. So I jumped all in and just kind of started working, and I guess I quickly saw how this could provide so much financial freedom for my family, because I had a daughter that was graduating, and we had spring break. That was happening, a 2-week spring break, and my son plays year-round basketball, and AAU, that's expensive, and all of a sudden Rodiana Fields was paying for it all. And so I was like, I need to probably take this a little bit more seriously. And plus my skin was like, I remember like taking a before and after 30-day picture, and I sent it to Liz, and I'm like, I don't know whether I should laugh or cry, because like, it's like amazing what these products are doing. And so, and of course she said it's only going to get better, and it really has. And so, since then I started jumping a little more, and then fast forward, not only my drive to kind of get out of the corporate world, but my dad got sick, and he has Alzheimer's in Florida, and I just need to be there. And there's not an opportunity that's available to us in a hotel, and most corporate you know, venues that you work that allows you to just go. And this company provides you the opportunity to, one, have a residual income, which will get you to that retirement faster than anything. I mean, Forbes magazine says it's the fastest 3 to 5 year retirement, the best 3 to 5 year retirement plan out there. And I truly believe it is if you dig in and work the business. And so anyway, I needed to be able to, and I still need to be able to get down there and go there. And, you know, I always think, you know, your first love when you were little, or maybe, you know, is your dad. You know, he's your first love, and he's the one that you know, he was the one that was clapping on the sidelines, and he's, you know, he's the one that's cheering you on, and you're always happiest when your dad is proud of you. You know what I mean? And so anyway, I want to be there like he was there for me, and this is my vehicle to get there. So at any rate, I totally believe in the company. The company is surpassed my expectations as far as what they can do for just everyday people like you and me. We don't have to overthink anything. It's like the website is taken care of. We don't have to market anything because, or brand it, because it's the proactive doctors that have branded it all for us. So many direct sale companies, they fail right away because they can't get their name out there. They can't let people know what they are, what they're doing. Because that brand, you know, people pay a lot of money for that marketing, and we don't have to do any of that because the proactive doctors have a legacy. They have their name that they built, you know, a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company across the globe with Proactive, and we're just kind of piggybacking on that. And so the opportunity is just amazing that they're giving us as far as being able to ride their tailcoats to an entrepreneurial kind of success story for us. And, you know, the thing I love the most about these doctors, or the proactive doctors, is they don't need this company. They don't need to do Rodan and Fields, an anti-aging line, but they're doing it for us. You know, they're putting this out there for people like you and me to do life different. And to me, that's amazing. Like that just shows the integrity of the people that are running this business, because they're doing it for us. I mean, that's crazy. And so they have everything at our fingertips to be successful. And, you know, and they take people from the company and they put them in these small groups and say, you know, what else do you guys need? Tell us, because we'll do it for you. I mean, who does that? I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, they listen to feedback and they grow, and they're cutting edge, and their innovation and everything is just, people are looking at Rodan and Fields and saying, how are you guys doing this? Like, why are you successful? How are you successful? Like, nobody can catch up to you, because we are, you know, and Liz will talk a little bit more about the products, but like, we're creating our own molecule. I mean, people, that's insane. It's, you know, most people, and basically what that means, I mean, I didn't really get it, but the glycerin that's in one of our new products, most companies can only put like 2 to 5% glycerin in their products because it's very sticky and gooey, and it just doesn't go on your skin smoothly. We put 30% glycerin in our products, and it's unheard of. I mean, people are like, how did you do that? Well, we have doctors that create molecules. I mean, that's brilliant. And we get to partner with them. And nobody else out there, like Nike or Apple or anybody has a reputation like Rodan and Fields, is actually asking us to partner with them. So that's so exciting. I mean, this is how we get so pumped up on RF Crack, is because that opportunity that is presented to us to partner with people of such integrity it's exciting. And the products work. That's the only way we can be successful, is because the products work. So that's a little bit about me. Do you want to talk about
That's great.
the business?
Do you want to go after? Do you want to go now? We go now? Okay. I'm going to move the video so people can see.
So, Marky B, hey, what's up in San Diego?
We're going to turn the computer. Sorry, normally we don't have this much of an issue, but I want people to be able to hear.
It's like a dark shadow.
You blend in with the background.
I really do.
It's all right. Here, you know what?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Selfie light coming.
Yeah, girl. She walks out
yeah, light me up.
Light it up.
Oh yeah, there she goes. There we go.
There it is.
Selfie light. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thanks, Laura. So, like Liz mentioned to you guys, my name's Emily Olmstead. I am a level 4 consultant. I've been with the company for a year. And Liz can probably tell you it was a hard time getting me on board. I consider myself a downline of like excess royalty because of my relatives who are part of this company. They all came at me, and of course I just flipped them off, like, get away, like, this is annoying. I literally unfollowed her on Facebook. I unfriended my cousin Nancy on Facebook. Because I was in college at the time when Nancy had started, and she messaged me like, "Oh, Em, like, can you do this?" And I was like, "Psych." So, I guess my story of how I got into this business was, literally a year ago. Will and I, my husband, always get Christmas pictures taken, and I got them back, and I was looking at this picture that I loved, and my skin looked horrible. And I've always never worn not wearing makeup now. Never worn makeup unless I'm like going out. None of that with anything. So when leaving, Liz was like, like, if you don't want to be part of business, that's cool, but the products are awesome. Like, what would I use? Like, I don't need it, right? So I get these pictures back, and I look how terrible my skin looks. It was so uneven. Like, my skin tone was so uneven, and I was like, oh my God. Why hasn't anybody told me? This is how terrible I look. I'm like, this is. I was like, okay. So I messaged her, and I was like, oops. She got a frustrated.
Hold up.
So I messaged Liz back, and I was like, okay, what do I need? So I got in reverse. And literally within 30 days, completely different skin. Like, she'll show you my before and afters. They're insane. So I had a ton of people, a ton of family and friends, like, oh my God, Em, like, your skin looks amazing. What are you using? Like, oh, this is stuff my cousin sells. Like, I'll give you her information so you can get it from her. And Liz is like, Em, like, think about all these people who are coming to you that you could be getting paid for. I'm like, no. I'm like, I appreciate it, but I'm good. So I literally like referred her. I can't even remember, like 6, 7 people. They got like regimens and stuff because they were obsessed with my results. And she was like, "You want to know how much I make from that?" And she told me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And even then, I was still like, I don't want to be that annoying person on social media. I don't want people to think that I'm like desperate for money. Didn't want all those things. But at that time, I was like, just give it a chance. You know what I mean? Like, I've never wanted to care what people think about myself anyway. So I was like, why do I care now? So I slowly, like caterpillar speed, started working the business. Like maybe like a post a week, and I'd be like, I posted, and she'd be like, now post again. I slowly, and I was absolutely all I wanted to do was just sell product. That's it. I didn't want to talk about any business. I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I didn't want anyone on my team. That was something that I was very firm about. I was like, nope, no ifs, ands, or buts. I would like draft up a message I would send to someone about products, and then Liz would be like, oh, don't forget to add some other business. And I'd be like, no thanks. So it wasn't until 3 months into my business, and one of my best friends from high school actually messaged me about it. She had just had another baby, and she was desperate looking for something to try to stay home with her kids because the amount of money that she'd be spending on daycare was way more than what she was making working at a daycare. So she's asking me if this would be something that would work for her, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess, but like, I don't want to have to be responsible. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, like, how selfish of me to not tell people about this business and like how much it can change your income and the time that you have. So I was talking to Liz. I was like, I actually have someone that's interested. Like, I didn't even know what to say. Like, what do I even tell her about the business? I had no idea. So I signed my first consultant in December, and since then it's totally changed because I went from just being about the products to being about the products and the business. And as you can see, within 9 months, I'm nearly to level 5. So I just say that was the biggest thing for me is just that the products, like I said, they do speak for themselves. They sell for themselves. Everyone knows what Proactive is. And once people get over the initial sticker shock, because if you go from buying
$5 Neutrogena to $200 rodent field, you're like, wait, what? But once you have to get their hands on it, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, and I think my biggest thing was a year ago, I just got married. I knew that my husband and I wanted to have kids soonish. So I was like, even if it's not for me, do it for the future. You know what I mean? We always live in the now, or we dwell in the past, but we can think about the future. Like I said, 3 to 5 years, how you can change everything for yourself and your family. It's worth it. So even if you're uncomfortable, you are scared, you don't want to fail, it's all worth it to have those emotions for the potential that you can change how your outlook is for your life. Awesome. Good job, man.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to make this like up my nose. Hey guys, this is so bright. I can't get over. Oh, I know. No. It's good. I mean, this is what we need. No, it's just you don't expect it to be that bright, and then you see it, and you're like, that's bright. So, hi everybody out there. My name is Liz Sandy. I try. I'm at Premier Level 5 out of Northwest Iowa. I used to live in the Twin Cities my husband and I were here for, I don't know, like 3 years. 3 years. Here for 3 years, and then we relocated back home to Iowa against my will. I moved back, and it's turned out to be a great thing for us and our family. But it's good to be back. It's always good to be back in the cities. And now, since I've left, my cousins moved up here after I left. And it's always great to be back to see friends and to meet new people. But my story really truly begins when I did move back home to that Okoboji area. So I live in a small town called Spirit Lake, and most people recognize it as Okoboji. It's a tourism town. Big lake there. A lot of people come from the Twin Cities, Sioux Falls, Omaha, Des Moines, all of it. But for the most part, it's a very, very small town. The town I actually live in is only about 6,000 people. So it's a very close-knit community. And surprisingly, that's where the big heart of my business has grown to be. And I'll kind of get to that. But when my husband and I moved back to the area, I'd come from the hospitality industry. I'd been with Hyatt for many years. I needed to figure out what I was going to do at home and or at my new home. And I didn't really want to work in the hospitality industry there because it was super seasonal. And we're talking like the summer picks up and our population moves from 18,000 in the community to 50 to 100,000 over a 3-month period, and depending on the weekend. And so it would have been nonstop. And the entire summer, I would have been away from my kids and my family, the kids I didn't have yet. But I knew planning that I wanted to be present. And my husband was moving back to join a family business, and so I didn't want to not have flexibility, right? And we love to travel, and we love to do things. And I have family in Ames, and I knew his family liked to travel a lot. So it's one of those things where if I was literally interviewing at these different hotels and restaurants and they were offering 1 week of vacation a year, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And so anyway, my grandma approached me and she was like, I really think you need to look into RE/MAX and to the opportunity of real estate. And so I did just that. I got my license, I became a realtor, and I loved it. And I really stepped into a fantastic career path that really helped me pay off my husband's law school debt and kind of get ourselves on our feet. I mean, it was a fantastic career path for me when I had no kids, right? It was a lot of nights and weekends. It was a lot of open houses on Sundays, and pushing a lot over a 6-month period. I mean, I made 90% of my money in 6 months, and then that market would then slow for the holidays, and then the winter would come, and people don't like moving in the winter, and people aren't buying lake homes in the winter. And so it was very, very, very seasonal for me, very on and off. And so it was really a great career path for me, but I really realized quickly after I had my first son that it was probably not everything it was chalked up to be as a mom, right? Because I realized that albeit I was my own boss, and albeit I had control of my own calendar, if a buyer wants to buy, they want me now. If they want to look at something, they want to look yesterday. If someone's ready to list their house, they want to list it now, not next week. And so it sounds selfish, but I was realizing very quickly that this was a very demanding line of work, that when I wanted to be present for my kids, and I'm sitting at home and someone's like, I need to go now, no, go ahead, you're fine. And when, you know, when someone needs me, I was having to drop everything and leave my husband with the kids. And it was a lot of weekends I was gone. People were out on the boat celebrating 4th of July, margaritas. And I am at work sitting at an open house, like not wanting to be there. And so I didn't think that there would ever be an opportunity otherwise that would allow me the time freedom and the financial freedom that this has. So I realized, you know, my real estate career, I have about $3,000 to $4,000 of overhead a month, okay? And that's to keep my licensure going, my advertising, my clients happy, whatever it may be. And on top of that, you know, all the time invested, you know, and I wasn't building a residual income, okay? So what I mean by that is every year I start over. Every year I have to find those new clients, and every year I have to figure out where I'm going to get my book of business, because people don't buy houses every year, right? The average person buys and sells every 9 years. So you really have to work hard and push every year to get that business. And so ultimately, I started watching, in the midst of all this, I had my son. I realized this wasn't all chalked up that you know, what I thought it was chalked up to be. And I started seeing my cousin, like Emily said, post on Facebook. And I was like, why? I was really puzzled by this. Why is she doing this? Because she is married to a very, very successful man who has an unbelievably successful branding and marketing company out of Austin. And I knew they were successful. I knew they didn't need the money. She's a stay-at-home mom with 3 boys under the age of 4. And I'm trying to figure out why she's doing this, right? Because certainly she's not bored. You know what I'm saying? And certainly she doesn't have all this extra time on her hands. So I started watching her, and I started watching her grow this business. And in about 18 months, and we started talking a little bit more about it. And I realized very quickly she was making just as much as I was 7 years into my real estate career. Basically, she had done that in less than 20 months from home with 3 boys under the age of 4 in her free time. And I'm like, what? And her overhead was $125,000 a month. Or $125 a month. Sorry, I've been talking way too much Lexus volume. I'll get to that. Her overhead is $125 a month, and so I'm thinking to myself, that's crazy. And then I'm watching her get all these free trips, and I'm watching her get this free luxury vehicle, and I'm watching her get these great bags and all these awesome gifts and all these incentives on top of this compensation plan where she's pretty much beating what I'm making. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this, right? The more I think about it, the more I realize I had actually been on Proactive for 15 years. I had tried getting off of the product multiple times, and I couldn't because it was the only thing that worked in my skin. Thank you. Yeah. And so to me, that was a light bulb for me, that I had found something that had worked so well initially that I couldn't get off that product. Well, I'd had kids, my skin had changed. I really needed a change in skincare, but I didn't want to spend the money. I just had this son, right? So my cousin finally gets me on the phone, and she's talking to me about this opportunity, and I go through the entire list of objections, right? I don't really want to bother people. I don't want to sell anything. I'm already a realtor. I don't have any time. I'm already running my own business. I mean, when am I going to do this? You know, kind of the usuals. And I realized very quickly that this was something that I couldn't pass up. The more I looked into the opportunity, the more I wanted to jump in. So I did. I jumped in 2 years ago this Halloween, and it was the best decision I've ever made, hands down. I decided I was going to do it because I was going to use the skincare. I loved the skincare. I tried it 3 days, and I was like, this stuff's off the chain. I need more. I'm never going to be able to get off of it, so I might as well get the deepest discount, and I might as well sell it to at least some friends and family to at least make a little bit of something, right? Well, my goal was to cover daycare, and basically by the end of the first month, I had essentially covered daycare. So I was like, well, I need a bigger goal now. And so basically I have plugged into our team, which now I know is the fastest growing team in the company. We have the best training, we have the best leaders, we have the best examples, and it's essentially a follow the leader trajectory and path. And I literally have gone step for step with my cousin where she's been in her business. And it has taken me to a point where now, not even 2 years in, I've almost surpassed my real estate income. And I can literally make the choice to put that on a shelf if I want to and walk away. So my plan B that was initially just to cover daycare has grown to such a salary And it is a residual income salary that continues to grow each and every year. In fact, I was just telling my team last week, 1 year ago, my paycheck was enough to cover my mortgage, all my utility bills, my cable bill, and a portion of daycare. And my paycheck has grown by 314% in 12 months. What job can you think of will give you a 314% raise in 12 months? It ain't happening, right? So it's pretty amazing what this opportunity is. And like Stacey said, what these doctors have done. So kind of to give you a little bit of idea where they were, right? So they were the proactive doctors. They rolled this out in the 90s. They are these brilliant doctors that figured out exactly the best way to approach skincare. And obviously they're Stanford trained. They're still in practice today. They're in the trenches. These doctors know what people want because they're still practicing today. They have 50 years of clinically combined experience, and they're still, again, practicing today, which says a lot because they're like billionaires, right? So that's how much they love the medicine. And they roll out this brand. It's now been around for 30 years. It still hasn't gone anywhere. It dominates 80% of the global acne market, and it's in over 125 countries. So they went back to the drawing board. They figured out exactly the 4 main common skin concerns of today, and that's what they've developed. Is 4 main regimens that address the 4 main common skin concerns of today, which is pretty freaking cool if you think about it. A sensitive skin regimen that, you know, really transforms your skin and actually heals the lipid barrier. I mean, that's life-changing for people. I have people who have had sores on their face. Stacey has customers that have had open wounds that have now been able to get those closed and have skin again on their face. It's unbelievable. And so I'll kind of get more into the regimens here in a moment, but they developed these regimens, and they actually initially rolled them out in high-end department stores. What they decided was that the way that they were growing the most was by word of mouth and by people like you and me sharing. And so they took it off the shelves. They decided to partner with people like you and me and to pay us that 60% marketing fee that they would normally take from their retail profits and roll back into advertising. They're paying people like you and me, and that's a really handsome dollar, believe me. So it's pretty cool. So they went back. They actually bought the company back from Estee Lauder, took it off the store shelves, and decided to take it direct sales. Risky move, big payoff. So now we've grown triple-digit growth the last 6 years in a row, which is huge. We're only just getting started. We're in 3 countries right now: United States, Canada, and Australia. We only just launched Australia a couple weeks ago. And you guys, only like less than 1 in 3 people actually know who we are, even in the United States. And in the United States alone, we're the #1 skincare brand already in a decade. That's crazy. And the #1 anti-aging line. And we're the #1 sold brand in the North Americas. I mean, it's crazy. It's what these doctors are doing is they are literally a market disruptor. They are plowing through the status quo of what's been done. Your Cliniques, your Estee Lauders, your Lancomes, they have been around for 50+ years. We are blowing the numbers out of the water and the performance of the skincare. So it's pretty fantastic. Believe me when I say we are going to be a global dominator. We are going to have the #1 skincare brand in the world, and they're asking people like you and me to partner with them along the way, which is pretty flipping cool. So if that's not big business, I'm not sure what is. We just became a $1 billion brand this last year. And like I said, we're just getting started. We don't even have enough consultants right now to saturate 1 state, let alone the United States. And we were literally only 3% of the entire United States skincare market last year. So that's where we are. Ground level and about to go flipping huge. So pretty freaking cool. Super excited to see where we go with things. Excuse me. And of course, all this is possible because we have products that work, right? So I'll kind of go through our regimens here really quickly. These doctors created what we call multi-med therapy, super sophisticated way of approaching skincare. Neutrogena told them that nobody would ever wash their face with multiple products, and look at where we are today. We have these regimens. They're simplistic. They're approachable. People get it. Like I mentioned, Soothe is our first line. It's the green line all the way at the end there. And that's for your sensitive skin and to heal that lipid barrier so that your skin can fight those environmental irritants and it's not constantly breaking down. Unblemished is my favorite, of course, because I'm the acne girl. The fact that I literally am acne-free is believe me, a miracle. You'd have to like move a mountain for me not to get a pimple majority of my life. And so for me to have the skin that I have to be foundation free is crazy. We have the reverse line here, which is for dark marks and dark marks, sun damage, melasma, dullness, and it's pretty awesome. We have two different approaches to the line. We have one that's for kind of brightening and that glow, and then we have one that is really truly for those hormonal, really stubborn dark marks that won't go away. This is a life-changing. I mean, they're all life-changing lines, but when you have black and brown blotches all over your face, even at a young age, but really truly we all have sun damage under our skin that will eventually surface as we age. I mean, that's pretty amazing that we have a product that lets you get away. Our Redefine is our flagship line. That's our anti-aging line. Again, we're the #1 anti-aging line in the United States. This stuff is unbelievable what it will do. Our eye crack, as I call it, is right on top. Our eye cream is amazing. And I'll quickly touch on our newer products. So last year at convention, we rolled out Lash Boost. So obviously you guys know how amazing our eyelashes are. Don't forget that. They're like 100% real and 100% amazing. If you haven't tried Lash Boost, you're crazy. Lash Boost did over 200 million in sales last year. That's insane. It outsold the best and highest selling mascara on the market last year. And we just rolled out. I mean, that's unbelievable. Hydration's our newest, one of our newer products in April. Stacey kind of touched a little bit on that. That's actually depositing more moisture into the skin and actually truly hydrating your skin, right? So the dehydrated skin is the second most common skin concern of today. This carries glycerin at a 30% level, like Stacey mentioned. Most moisturizers will only get it to about a 3 to 4% because it's very sticky and tacky. And so we created this 3D3P molecular concept where it actually carries the water weight and it will create a reservoir on the surface of your face that will self-adjust throughout the day and keep you hydrated without feeling really greasy. The stuff's amazing. Super sophisticated technology, and of course proprietary to us. This has been the most insane addition to all of our regimens. You can use it if you're acne prone. I use it because usually when you're an oily skin tone, you're overproducing those oils because you're actually dry. You don't actually have that moisture there for your skin, so that's why you're overproducing the oil. And of course, dryness it's a great solution for them. Because of our 3D3P molecular concept, we actually just rolled out our new Active Hydration Eye Brightening Complex. It will be available on November 2nd. I am super excited about this. This product is insane. It's really specifically designed for those bags and dark circles. Like I said yesterday, I used it for the first time, and within 3 hours, I looked like I was punched in the face on one side. I mean, it was like, my husband's like, you need to put that on the other eye because it's starting to look bad. This stuff's unbelievable. Again, using our hydration technology and our proprietary molecule, it's unbelievable stuff. We're really excited that we rolled out yesterday our new AmpMD system. It's our new roller. It is better, more sophisticated, more gentle, and just overall better technology. The needles are actually laser cut, still medical grade acupuncture needles. Way more gentle on the skin than our lash roller. Our lash roller was already amazing, but this one's absolutely insane. The ergonomic handle is fantastic and an amazing carrying case, which you can't go wrong with. And our newest innovation is our intensive renewing serum. This actually replaces our night renewing serum. And what this is this is actually the closest thing to vitamin A, or as most know it, retin A, that you would get from the dermatologist as a prescription. So typically retin A is like the gold standard in any anti-aging at all, firming and making that skin look a little younger. This is a product that we have determined, and actually these doctors have put this in a barrier so it's gentle. It's the closest thing you can get to that retin A over the counter. And you can be sensitive and use this product without redness or irritation, which is heard of. These doctors have put barriers in this product so it's actually time released, it's more gentle, it's got a better approach to it, and just as effective and 20 times stronger than retinol with an O. And this retinol with an A is pretty fantastic. So super, super sophisticated innovations, super exciting. Really excited to see how it changes kind of the game for a lot of our existing users. Our clinical studies are showing results are twice as fast. You're seeing results in 4 weeks versus 8 weeks. And what am I missing? And yeah, it's just a faster, smarter technology. It's awesome. So those are our new products. Super excited about that. Thank you very much. But otherwise, I guess I would just encourage you, and for those who are watching, to take a second and kind of just think maybe a little bit differently. You know, like Emily said, I didn't think I needed this business. I thought I had it made in the real estate world. I thought I was going to be selling houses and slanging real estate till I was 60. But I didn't know there was a better way that would allow me that time freedom and that financial freedom both at the same time. Typically in the real world today, if we want more money, we're working more and our time is suffering. Or if we want more time with our kids, our financial side will suffer. This is one option in the entire world that I can honestly think of where both give you more. And you can honestly build yourself time freedom and financial freedom with this company that you would not even believe. My cousin has climbed to the top of this company, and she's only 3.5 years in now, not even quite. And she makes more in 1 month than most teachers make in a year. And her sister alongside her is making 10 times the salary she made as a physician's assistant in oncology. So if that's not life-changing income, I'm not sure what is. And really, truly, just thinking a little bit differently and thinking outside the box could just be the life-changing move that you need. And that little risk step that I took in the right direction has been an absolute life-changing opportunity for me, and I don't regret it for 1 minute. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and we'll take any questions that you guys might have. See you guys.